contributor, that the 40%. If you can make it a little faster, then it will be really helpful, for the migration, right? So that's how IBM come up with the migration toolkit. It's really a boon for those who are doing a migration, right? You can see in the later part of slides how I would say it almost automates the migration. The 90 to 95% automates the migration. Especially the latest release, that is 3.5, it made really the life very easier. So I'm speaking about the diagram which is given in the right hand side. I'm on slide number 6. So WebSphere Application Migration Toolkit takes the source code either from different versions of WAS, either 7.0, 8.0, 6.x or 5.x, or any of these following competitive app server: WebLogic, Oracle App Server, JBoss, and Tomcat. When if you give this as an input to the migration toolkit, what you get is the desired target app server, whether it's 7.0, 8.0, or 8.5, the code which is ready to go for production. Of course, there could be some minimal manual changes, that we need to do it manually. One interesting thing is we have another counterpart of this known as the configuration migration tool from WAS itself. You can get it from the WAS install home bin, which also does the configuration migration. But with recent release, the 8.5, they dropped some of the lower versions. I think, if I'm not wrong, you can migrate the from only the version 6.1. You cannot use the configuration migration tool to migrate the version 5.1, 6.0, but you can start only from version 6.1. But unlike that, our migration toolkit, it supports even 5.1, version 5.1 of App Server. This is for version to version. Okay, and irrespective of the version, it supports all the competitive products, like whatever the 4 I said, right? So the tool, capable of making the application changes itself, in most of the cases, and in some cases you need to do the manual intervention after running the toolkit. Not only that, to be a proactive and to the estimation, because as I said, most of the time it happens in production, and we cannot just have a game around it. So we have to be very definite in that. So this toolkit also generates a report to assess the migration task, how much time it's going to take, right? And most importantly, it is free of cost. You can just, after this talk, you can just go to the develop works. We are given the link. You can download it and you can install it and test it yourself, right? So I'm moving on to slide number 7. This talks about how does the toolkit does magic. Okay, so this is basically underlying technologies, rational software analyzer technologies. Again, powerful technology from IBM, which scans through the whole code and understands the code very intelligently, and also recommends the suggestions and the best practices. So the underlying technology is rational software analyzer technology. So it is available as an Eclipse feature, which makes it very easy to consume. What all you need to have is, you need to have the lightweight Eclipse or RAD, whichever you want. Even you can have any IBM IDE, based on Eclipse, like things like, WebSphere Integration Developer or Rational Software Architect. Any IDE from IBM you can use. So the prereq is you can use it with Eclipse version 3.4.2 and up to 3.7. 4.2 we cannot confirm, because when we are really GAing this particular product, the migration toolkit of 3.5, parallelly Eclipse also come up with 4.2. So we have not done the complete testing. We have tested the minimal testing. It should work, but we have not yet fully tested with 4.2. And if you need any PMR around this, then we are not, the 4.2 is not supported, right? But 3.4.2 to 3.7, you can very well go, but 4.2 as well theoretically should work, but to be safer side, 3.4.2 to 3.7. And when it comes to RAD, 7.5 plus, 8.0x plus, and 8.5x, anything you can go, right? But if you are going with the Eclipse, then one thing you need to do is you need to download the WebSphere Application Server developer tools from Eclipse. You can download it from the Eclipse marketplace. But when you are going with the RAD, it is available, by itself. So the current release is 3.5, and you can freely download it from this link. And the version-to-version tool is available in the marketplace. Only the version-to-version it is available in the marketplace. So how does it work? So it works based on the rules, right? The rules are nothing but if it is something like this, in let's say, for example, in Oracle App Server, then how it should be in WebSphere App Server. So these rules are based out of our industry experience over the years. So before this tool, we used to do the migration manually, and we kind of learned the best practices. We grouped all the best practices as a rules, and we made it available in the tool. And this rule, there is a rule set which speaks about the migration. For example, we have a 4 rule set, 4 plus 1, 5. That is for 4 competitive app server and version to version. So for example, for JBoss, we have 1 rule set, and within the rule set, all the logically related rules for the JBoss migration is available. And we have a categories which organized into related rules. Then I think my friend Chaitra will walk through this more clear with the scenario. Okay. So you can also analyze the whole source code to find the areas which require the migration. See, the advantage of this tool, it scans through the whole application code, and it finds out wherever it needs migration, and it also gives the best practices, the recommendation. Not only that, the most importantly, it just applies if you say the quick fix all, then it automatically changes the code into the WebSphere App Server compatible. So you can also have a help, 2 levels of help. One is high level information about the particular rule, and there is also hyperlink, which if you click on that, you'll get detailed info on the help. And the most interestingly, this help is available as part of your IDE in a pan, which is the typical help pan. Okay, so which makes the end user doesn't feel unfamiliar. It just makes it as the way the typical Eclipse works, right? Any feature or plugin works in Eclipse the same way it works. So it automatically changes the source code and resolve the migration issue, right? And as I said, it generates a report as well. So we are moving to slide number 9. So this says